Look, I don't speak for anyone else but me, and I'm gonna tell you the truth about something that I've learned from God and just from letting God teach me the roles and understand the roles of the genders, meaning male and female. What I've learned in life and my conviction is this, and I don't try to convince nobody. I'm not trying to convert nobody. That's not my place. Love don't do that. Love draws you with love and kindness, and love just is. For me, what I've learned in life is wise, is best to receive someone concerning marriage that's in God's will for you. Someone who is a suitable partner. Now, the world and carnality says a compatible partner. That goes against what God said. God said in the Bible, a suitable partner. And when I looked at suitable, when you turn that word around, because I'm big, I grew up in spelling bees, that means someone who's able to suit your identity concerning ministry, concerning the gifts and talents God put in you, concerning your identity. They are able and to suit your identity, who you are, and they are tailor-made for who you are in and through God. Now, for me, I don't want no worldly carnal man. I don't. That's not even a man. That's a little boy in a severe identity crisis. I don't want any male that's out of God's will. To me, that's foolery to waste your time with someone that God did not send and then blame God or men bash or be on Maury Povich, Jerry Springer, or social media bashing this person, you bashing him, he bashing you, all y'all business on the street. That's stupidity. So my thing is this to the world and to all of you that's looking for love in all the wrong places, and you're looking for love in the strip clubs, and you're looking for love in church, you're looking for love on a warehouse job, dating apps and all that stuff. And nothing against dating apps, but it's wise to ask God, should you get on a dating app at this point in your life, or do you need to understand and come into agreement with what singleness is about in and through God, why he created singleness and why you need that journey? That's your construction work on you. That's you going under construction in your singleness journey. And if you haven't let God do construction work on you, quote unquote, you're no good for nobody, not even you. So you need to have a seat, boo-boo. Whether you male or female, with all your kids with multiple partners, or your kids with a narcissistic person, you're not anointed and qualified in through God yet for his institution called marriage, a godly marriage. Now, yeah, you can keep having multiple divorces and marriages out of God's will, but that's shame on you. That's bad. That's sad. That's embarrassing, And it's just shame on so many adults. I noticed this in the world since I was a little girl. The majority of adults, you keep getting involved with the wrong people, being drawn away by the lust of your flesh, going into relationships based on your feelings and emotions, your hormones, okay? And in a severe identity crisis. Because if you look at the kind of partners you choose to get in relationships with, you can tell you have an identity crisis, and they do too, because you attract to you what's in you. So if you're blind, you attract blind people. If you're toxic and hurting and bleeding, you're going to attract toxic and hurting, bleeding people. So how do you keep doing the same thing and dealing with the same vessels over and over, and you expecting to experience love? That's insanity. You're insane. You're toxically insane in the membrane temporarily, and you don't love yourself. To love yourself is to become and be in and through God's standards, morals, and principles, and understand your sexuality, what God created that about for, and understand what relationships is all about concerning marriage, concerning a courtship leading into marriage, in God's will. So that's my mindset on that when it comes to relationships concerning a male and female, the way God created and established opposite genders, getting into a courtship leading into marriage. My thing is I choose only to go in and through God, because he's the one that only good comes from. He created relationships. Relationships are only good. The problem is you had bad adults, bad vessels going into something good their way, their fleshly, carnal, religious way, which is satanic. And then when the relationship becomes distorted by their issues, their narcissism, their pride, their masturbation, their pornography, their cheating, adultery, whatever you want to call it, domestic violence, abusive behaviors and ways, and they mess up what God created for good, they want to blame God or say relationships are bad and point the fingers at each other, point the fingers at marriage, point the fingers at courtship and say this stuff doesn't work. It's just a piece of paper. No, you a piece of work. You don't work. You don't work for what God created. You're bad. You're contaminated. Your sexuality is distorted. You still haven't got healed from when you were molested by your uncle, your mom, your grandma, your daddy, whoever. Incest. You still ain't faced your issues in singleness, and you want to point the finger and misinterpret and misjudge what God created for your good, which is a marriage, his institution. There's nothing wrong with God's institution called marriage. It's everything is wrong with you. From your hair follicle to your toenail, you're a problem. You're your own issue. But you adults, y'all so quick to misinterpret and tear down and sabotage and be narcissistic towards what God created for our good, which is marriage. There's nothing wrong with marriage. Marriage is not hard or difficult. Courtship is not hard or difficult. You as an adult are hard and difficult because you won't just let God work on you in your singleness. You won't go through your singleness journey the right way, the biblical way, the godly way, and let God work on you and face you. So it's nothing wrong with courtship. It's nothing. And marriage is not about a certificate or piece of paper. No, the piece of paper is just a confirmation to what's already God's institution, the beauty of it, the purity of it, the righteousness of it, the holiness of it. There's nothing. Marriage is not just a certificate. For an adult to think like that is like you as an adult making something so sacred for your child, and the child says, oh, it's just a piece of cake for my birthday. That's all it is. It's just nothing significant about it. And not considering what you went through to get that cake, how you sacrifice and put your blood, sweat, and labor, and that the cake is so pure, it's so beautiful and clean and fresh. And all your child can say to you is, oh, the icing was okay. It's just a candle. Shame on us. So my mindset is marriage, when God created that institution, it wasn't about a piece of paper. It's way much bigger than that. That means when people say that, when you adults say, oh, it's just a piece of paper, why do I need to get married? It's just a piece of paper. No, it's not. That's not what God was thinking when he created his institution. That means you like knowledge and you don't choose to get knowledgeable about the institution of God's marriage, called God's marriage. So that's my mindset is, it would be, and I'm speaking for me, I would be a simpleton and stupid and insane, toxic, in a severe identity crisis, and a fool to keep accepting people out of God's will for a courtship leading to a godly marriage when they're not sent by God. That's shame on me. That's stupidity on me, not them. Them coming to me and me drawing these people to me is like a magnet to a magnet. It's just showing me what's in me that needs healing and deliverance, that I need to be set free from. And until I, as an adult, go to God and face that, it just gets worse and worse. And the children suffer if I have children with any one of these people. So that's the worst thing to do, and the foolish thing to do is point fingers at somebody you chose to lay up with, fornicate with, have sex you're not married to, and you expect love to manifest, something that's from God, so pure and holy and righteous, to manifest for you when you're dealing with people who are unholy, sinful, satanic, hell-sent, hell-bent, and they're not for you, they're against you concerning marriage, and God didn't send them to you. There's no love in that. Even there's no love for your children. They suffering too, even worse than you. So shame on an adult when you don't choose to go to the creator about what he created only for your good, when you're coming to it bad, distorting and contaminating the good in it. Shame on you as an adult. And to keep repeating that with another person, or to go back to the same toxic person, and it gets worse and worse. And you want to blame God or say marriage doesn't work, marriage is hard, it's difficult, or it's just a piece of paper. No, you're just a piece of work. So with that being said, that's my mindset on that. I don't try to convince anyone else or convert. Love don't do that. If you have questions or comments for me, I'm Gabrielle. Feel free. I welcome it. All right. Marriage is not the problem. We are the problem. Marriage is not bad. It's only for our good. But we come into it bad, expecting for it to stay good. It don't work like that. When you got two bad vessels going into something good, one is going to overpower the other one. You're going to contaminate what God only created for our good. Sorry about that. Let me open this again. So that's my mindset on that. Marriage is a beautiful thing, but when you come into it around God and don't see God and let him be the root, source, and foundation, you make it ugly. You and the person who you came with. Marriage is a beautiful thing. It's not hard or difficult. We make things hard and difficult. God only made things good for our good. We make things bad. We cause divorce rates to go up high. God hates divorce. But when you want to do it your way, you got to pay. All right? Love you. I'm Gabrielle. Till next time.